Hey, hey, hi, hi, ho, ho. Harry here for Nation, and it's Coffee with Michael Fraser at Refractr. This is an interesting segment with Michael because he is literally packing his bags to go to IT Nation. So, Michael, first I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the award you won. What are you doing at IT Nation? Then I want to talk about a topic called Platform as a Service. But, sir, what's going on in Orlando this week?
Yeah, so heading out tomorrow. I have a breakout session on modernizing solution delivery around IT as code. So the thought leadership topic phrase that I came up with to help service providers understand that everything they're going to do is eventually going to become code. And then we also have a booth that we're going to show off actually a release of our next version of our platform. So actually it's a great timing for the topic of the show because that's primarily what we're launching, a platform as a service type offering around DevSecOps.
Well, before we get to that, I'm curious, are you going to, off camera, I have a skier outfit, I have some Eastern Indian dress, if you will. Are you, there's a bathrobe. What's your costume on Halloween night, my friend? Are you going to pop something down and put on a mask?
No, I can't just be an IT guy there. All right. No, I have a Kermit the Frog hood that I usually wear, so I don't have to dress up in full garb, but good enough to be semi costume. So, and my
All right.
bringing the family too, so the daughter will be there. She's going to be dressed up as a princess, and I guess they're doing a thing for kids and families that anybody that brings their families for because it's over Halloween, so. On Halloween night to bring out kids too, so that's cool. So that'll be fun.
All right. Well, hey, so let's take half a step back. What is the basic definition of platform as a service, and then what is the solution you're showing off later this week?
Yeah, so platform as service is a lot of times, well, and the definition around it is, so there's software as a service, there's platform as a service, there's infrastructure as a service. And so platform lives in between infrastructure as a service and software as a service, where there's a software component, but you're delivering a portion of it as a platform that has some infrastructure with it. So you have the ability to have the best of both SaaS and IaaS or infrastructure service to be able to provide a portion of what you would normally have to roll all of your own infrastructure, being able to just get a slice of it to run something that you're trying to do that includes the infrastructure component. So from a platform standpoint, platform as a service standpoint, it's more cost effective and you're able to utilize something that would normally require you to roll out all the infrastructure. And then also having the software as a service component where it's still very easy to use, low barrier of entry, not a ton of configuration that you have to do to be able to get into it. And so it's nice there. And what we have at Refractr is something you would deem platform as a service because there's a software as a service front end to our platform where we can get them an account, they can log in, they can start using it. But on the back end, we actually provide a container, which is the infrastructure piece that really creates us as having a platform as a service offering. And so that container that would normally require you to have to go spin up your own, host and have to deploy something that you'd use for containers like Docker or Kubernetes. You don't have to worry about any of that. And we're actually leveraging a platform as a service offering on Microsoft Azure called ACI, Azure Container Instances, for the backend piece of it. So we're actually using a platform as a service product offering a platform as a service offering. But ACI gives us the ability to not have to deal with any of the manage infrastructure for containers. So we can just offer a container that can run, and then once it's done, it gets destroyed and new ones can get created. But on the front end, we actually use Kubernetes, and so we're using infrastructure as a service and other cloud services in order to offer the front end piece of it. So it gives us it allows for us to provide a cheaper alternative in a platform as service offering, as opposed to having to have a service provider or an IT team have to roll their own entire infrastructure deployment to be able to get what we're offering.
One observation, I don't know if my morning humor will fall flat, but Michael, I actually did this because I love just how the word Kubernetes rolls off the tongue. I was at the Acronis Global Cyber Summit recently in Miami. I went out to a Spanish tapas restaurant and I said, "Do you have Kubernetes on the menu?" Imagining it would be a small little dish, right? A small Spanish dish with little munchies. The joke fell flat with the wait staff, but I had to do it. With that said, let's get back to business. With that said, how about the MSPs that are part of the nation, Microsoft 365 Nation and SMB Nation? How would they interact with you? So you kind of laid out the engineering, but they would come by your booth. They would find out more technical information, but I'm assuming there's a sign-up form, or they drop their card and you're going to call them, and you have a pricing plan. Do you have, bronze, silver, gold? So how do I do business with you as an MSP?
Yep. Yeah. So you definitely can sign up. We like to provide an actual interactive demo session. So we require a demo session to be booked. Okay. And then once that's booked, we'll get on and go through a demo. And one of the key things we've seen that's successful with service providers is figuring out what manual tasks that they're doing and working towards helping to automate those, as well as figuring out, to your point about Microsoft and getting into Azure and various other things to be able to start the journey of getting into not just the public cloud, but everything as a service. And with everything as a service, a service provider may be using O365. They may be doing looking at trying to do stuff on Azure. They may be looking at certain security products. And so for us, since we can help facilitate building content around any of the existing DevOps and security automation tools out there, that's essentially what our platform is. We can help actually build content around that. And then we also are pushing pretty heavily in the vendor space too, around vendors in the MSP space. So any vendor that's at IT Nation and any subsequent show we're at as well is a prime candidate for using our platform to be able to build out content to push out to the broader service provider community, just because they are at the forefront of needing to be able to provide content that we're calling IT as code, but around everything, infrastructure, stuff we're talking about today, platform, configuration of anything you're trying to deploy, security automation. So all these things that you hear out there, but really trying to actually bring it to the forefront of front and center to service providers, because without the content, it's very difficult for a lot of service providers to even get into it. They're just trying to run a business on a day-to-day basis. So I would say that we're also going to have some upcoming webinars and interactions that will have content from vendors too. So if service providers want to come to us through vendors that they work with as well out there, like ConnectWise, Pax8, and others, we're also working with stuff with them to be able to provide stuff to them, or to service providers.
No, that's real value, and a longer conversation about the disruption of the value chain. In fact, Michael, I'm gonna make a note for that for our November chat. Forgive me.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I got it. If I don't do it, hey, I'm gonna leave you with this, Michael. So. Number one, certainly have fun with your family down at IT Nation. Orlando's, of course, amazing with young families. Number two, we're getting you back with Zach a little bit later this fall with the MSP Tech Talk for part 2 of Azure with SMB. So I just want to send you off with that. As you go down to IT Nation, if you could just be thinking about what you're hearing about Azure with the SMB MSP. We'll see on the other side, but that's my challenge to you, my friend, as you walk the floor, shake hands, and literally kiss babies.
I will not actually see Zach, who will be there, and he's actually going to be at the end of my breakout session. So we'll both have some good information to bring back and give you some insights on just IT Nation and generally where things are going with Azure and so on. Microsoft will be there.
I appreciate it. Well, hey, I know you're chomping at the bit to pack the bags and get in the Uber and go to the airport, my friend Orlando. I'm going to let you go. Have fun for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Harry. Happy Monday. Take care.